Welcome to another portfolio review. Today we are looking at Valentine's collection, and this is from people who are part of my Poke Investing Club. Free to join. It's for collectors and investors that want to learn how to collect smarter, not harder. And first off, we want to appreciate all the different cards in his collection, but also look at it from a investing and long-term perspective. So without further ado, let's dive in. The total value of his portfolio stands around $7,700. And right now, we are actually on the sealed products page. So what I did first was I actually copy and pasted this image into ChatGPT, so it totaled up the value of all of his sealed collection, and it turns out to be just about $2,700. So that means out of his total collection of $7,700, $2,700 would be about 30%-ish is in sealed, which is totally fine. From an investing perspective, I like to keep my portfolio at least 50% sealed because sealed is the type of product that appreciates more reliably. But of course, as collectors, we want to enjoy the individual Pokemon cards as well. But let's look at the actual sealed boxes. The Pokemon Center Prismatic Evolution. This is the box that I am probably most bullish on out of all the other boxes. So this is a great box to have only because the total set value of the prismatic set, it doesn't matter how you subjectively or personally feel about it. Personally, I don't love the art of the cards that much, but I'm not going to argue with the value of the top chase cards of all the evolutions. Total, if you add them up, the total set value is higher than a lot of the other sets, maybe all of the other modern sets. So just with that total set value of the top chase cards, you can reliably predict that this is going to be a very expensive box in the future. I mean, right now it's already closing in on, I believe $300-400 is what I'm seeing now. That's crazy because I was picking these up at $200 or $180. Not even 3-4 months ago. The fact that it's moved to 400 means people are finally realizing that the Pokemon Center ETBs specifically are very, very rare, and rarity is ultimately what drives the prices of these, and that's tied to demand and also limited supply. The second box he has, the 151 ETB. Now, this is just a regular ETB box, but the price, again, it's very high for a regular ETB because based on my research and what people are saying, there just weren't that many of these printed. And of course, demand is really high. And then we cannot ignore the fact that this ETB has this really cute Snorlax. So some people might think that sealed collectors are all scalpers or they don't really care about the cards because why would you keep something sealed? But sealed collecting is one of the oldest forms of collecting. I mean, look at action figure collectors. These adults never took these action figures out just to play with them, and the fact that they kept it sealed didn't mean they loved it less. In fact, a lot of sealed collectors are the most dedicated collectors in the world, and this box is the perfect box to hold in your sealed collection because Snorlax is such an iconic character, and just the design of this box is gorgeous. I think all of that contributes to the high price for a regular ETB. So a third on this list is his Mega Evolutions Enhanced Booster Box. Booster boxes, if you've seen any of my videos, these are the gold standard of Pokemon investing because these are the most expensive product out of the gate, right? A Pokemon Center ETB at retail is actually about, it should be $50-60. Booster boxes at retail are $170. So because they're priced higher, there's just not that many of them that Pokemon Center prints. This is not their preferred method of getting cards in the hands of their customers. Booster boxes were never meant to be something that every single person gets to have. So they're just not printed as much. Because the opening and Pokemon culture has changed, everybody wants one. And they're just getting harder and harder to get. That's why out of the gate, this is nearly double MSRP at $320, and that's just unprecedented. I don't know if they're going to be able to print enough to lower this market price down. So Pokemon booster boxes, definitely grab them when you can, especially at retail. That's as close to free money as I can say, and again, that's a very risky thing for me to say, but that's just the reality of it. Even the very bad sets have appreciated significantly. After this, we have these UPCs or the super premium collections. These are also very, very popular, especially for prismatic evolutions, rare to get. At market, you can actually pick these up for $170, $180 for many, many months. And the fact that they're $300 now just shows, the prismatic is just very, very popular. So don't sleep on prismatic. I wouldn't necessarily jump in at these current prices for these products, but it still wouldn't be a bad product to hold as long as you're looking at the long term. And by long term, I really mean at least 5 years, even 2, 3 years. Anything could happen. There could be little market fluctuations. But from an investing perspective, you have to look long term. If you don't, you're just going to be selling at the bottoms and buying at the tops and following FOMO, whichever way the wind blows. Just looking at the rest of their collection, we see they have more Pokemon Center ETBs. These are incredibly great. Again, Pokemon Center ETBs, rarest type of ETBs, rarer than some booster boxes, rarer than some UPCs. So definitely pick these up when you can. Even at market, when it was coming out between $100 and $150, I mean, that's not a bad deal. And people will scoff at the idea of buying things at market, but the market price is the true price, because if the retail price is so low that it gets bought up instantly, if there's 10,000 people that want 1,000 boxes, whatever they're willing to pay, that's by definition what the market price is. The market price, that's the real price. The initial cheap price, I mean, that's just a made up number. It's a recommendation, and always try to get retail if you can. But if you're looking at the long term, again, buying at market when it was at $100 some, obviously in hindsight, that would have been a great idea, especially for a set that's like Mega Evolution, that's actually quite good and quite popular. Looking at the rest of his sealed collection, he's got a little bit of everything. I mean, everything looks really good, especially his top holdings are really in-demand products, so he's set up really well. I would say, again, from an investing perspective, just keep buying more sealed. Try to pick that up to 50% of your portfolio. And the reason I say that is because when you have a lot of single cards, when you have a lot of graded cards, those cards can fluctuate a lot more than sealed product. And having a sealed investment to balance out your total portfolio will give you the option to sell it at some point in the future. When your single cards potentially tank, you have the option to liquidate some sealed product, and that gives you the flexibility to buy more modern sealed product or buy other cards that you liked, as opposed to, let's say, the extreme example, you have 100% graded cards or single cards. If the Pokemon market were to ever correct 40%, then your whole portfolio could drop 40%. But if you hold the right sealed, the probability that that sealed portion would drop 40%, it's just very, very unlikely. Sealed is the product that only becomes rarer over time versus graded and singles. That population will continue to grow even 10 years into the future as sealed gets ripped. So you see that lever we're pulling? The lower number of sealed there is, the higher number of raw and graded cards there are. That's why over time, sealed will always generally outperform singles and graded cards. And again, I'm talking about overall. Obviously, there's a ton of individual exceptions and differences. I'm just talking about overall. So now let's just quickly look at their cards. And yeah, I mean, these are all awesome grails to have. He's got PSA 9 Umbreon EX, Raw Flareon EX, all the prismatic evolutions. He's got a Charizard EX and Jolteon EX. And I don't have too much to say here. He doesn't have a lot of graded cards. A lot of these are raw. One of my recommendations would be to pick up some more graded cards. That really locks in the value and guarantees the quality, and those are, nice to have. I personally like PSA 9s for your collection because they're so much cheaper and you can enjoy them just the same. So I really like the Umbreon PSA 9. For investing purposes, unfortunately, PSA 10s are the way to go. They have some of the biggest upside if you can get a good price on them. I would still not be primarily looking for PSA 10s in this current environment. It's just too crazy right now. But yeah, I love his collection. A lot of Eevees. I can kind of see what he likes. As you go on, yeah, Crown Zenith, really popular, great card, really popular series. Even now, I think Crown Zenith is a good set to invest in because it's a just crossing over that 2-3 year mark, and it's not coming back. I mean, you might still see some packs here and there coming from stores, but it's definitely not being reprinted. These are things that they're just slowly coming out of the warehouse. Always aim for things that are just going out of print or out of cycle. And Crown Zenith is, I mean, you can see it in the price charts. It's been primed for continued growth. We have more newer cards like Misty Psyduck. We have some classics like Snorlax, some trainer cards, and then these aren't worth as much. But yeah, promo cards are still going to do really well. Cynthia's Garchomp. I love this Rapidash and this Sizer. This is one of my favorite cards color-wise. I just like the black and the red, and then a throwback to the Rocket Gang. And, I'm just going to stop here. I think we have a good sense of their overall portfolio. I've given my recommendations. Yeah, beautiful collection. I love the variety of cards. I love the variety of sealed products. I would say keep going, keep buying sealed, maybe invest in some additional PSA 10s. And as always, collect what you love.